Today we will discuss about the difference between vertical and horizontal communications. So vertical and horizontal. So number one, when the communication occurs between superior and subordinates, it is called vertical communication. So the communications between superiors and subordinate, when the communication flows between superior and subordinate, is called vertical communications. And here the horizontal communications, when the communication flows between persons holding the same positions in the organization is called horizontal communication. So the communications between the same level of people in the organizations called the vertical communications. Horizontal communications between the communications between people holding same rank or positions in the organizations is called the horizontal communications. So the vertical communications between the superior and the subordinates, and horizontal communications between the people holding the same rank or positions. Now number two, the purpose of vertical communications is to provide order, instructions, policy to the subordinate, and receiving suggestions, opinion, feedback, etc. from the subordinates. So the purpose of vertical communications is to provide order, instruction, etc. to the subordinates or to the lower people of the lower rank, as well as the receiving feedback, suggestions from the employee, from the subordinates. And the purpose of the horizontal communications is to coordinate the activities of various departments and divisions of the organization. So the purpose of the horizontal communications is to coordinate among the departments or the divisions in organization. So here the people of the same rank in the various departments communicates with each other. So the purpose of the communications, or purpose of horizontal communication, is to coordinate among themselves. Now number three, the information flows from superior to subordinate and vice versa in the vertical communications. So here the information flows from superior to subordinate, as well as from subordinate to the superior in the vertical communications. So the information flows upward and downward. Upward information means the information from subordinates to the superior, and downward communication means the information from superior to the subordinates. And the in horizontal communication, the informations or messages flows between same level or and status people. So here the information or messages flows. So here the information and messages flows between people holding the same positions or rank in the organization hierarchy. So the information or messages flows between the people holding the same rank or positions in the organization hierarchy. So the information flows among the same people holding the same rank or positions in the organization. So here the information flows between superior and subordinate. Here information flows between the holding same positions or rank in the organization hierarchy. So the flows in informations. Now the vertical communication. Now look here, number 4, the vertical communications is more formal than horizontal communications. So here vertical communication is more formal because here the superior can transmit or convey some informations to the subordinate. So he or she can transmit the informations or convey that informations formally. So here the flows of informations is formal, but horizontal communication enjoys greater degree of informality. So here the communicator enjoys greater degree of informality because the communication takes place among the people holding the same rank or positions in the organization hierarchy. So there may be some sort of informality they enjoys in the organization hierarchy. So here there may be the informality in the communications in horizontal communications, but at the formality in the vertical communications. Now look at the number 5. Vertical communications is mostly done through written media because here the subordinate as well as the superior cannot or do not communicate with each other directly. So if superior wants to convey or wants to give some instructions to the subordinates, they can transmit these informations through written media to the subordinates. But in horizontal communication is mostly done through oral media, because here the communication takes place among the people holding the same positions, so it is mostly done through the oral media. Now number 6, look at the message of vertical communications may suffer from distortions. So here there is a distortion. There may be distortions in the message of in the vertical communications, because if the superior wants to convey some instructions to the, or wants to give some instructions to the subordinates, so he has to transmit the message through the channel, through the channel in the vertical communication. So the message may be distorted in the channel, in between the channel. But here in the horizontal communications, the message are usually free from distortions, because they have communication takes place among the people holding the same positions or rank in the organization hierarchy. So the message in horizontal communications free from distortions, but the message in vertical communications may suffer from distortion. So here the message may be distorted in the vertical communications, but in horizontal communication message may not free from distortions. Now look at the 7th. Length of informations flow between sender and receiver is short. So the length of informations flow between sender and receiver is long in vertical communications, because there is a higher authority and in subordinate. So in between, if the message of higher authority transmitted, if the higher authority wants to transmit a message and the subordinates gets the particular message through a channel, so that takes a time. So length of informations, so the length of informations flow between sender and receiver. So length of informations flow between sender and receiver is short. So here in the horizontal communications, the informations flows in between sender and receivers is short. The length of information is short, but because the communication takes place among the people holding the same positions or rank in the horizontal communications, but here the message has to go through a particular channel, so it's take time, but it's very short. But horizontal communications, the people communicate with each other, so they are save time, so it save time. So the length of emotions flow in vertical communications is long, and the length of emotions flow in horizontal communications is short. Thank you.